Hello everyone, you are watching Kalpavriksha Farms and this is Kalpana. In today's episode, I'm going to share all about how to store turmeric. So it's been a few days now since we have harvested our turmeric and we had a huge harvest this time. We had 15 kgs of harvest and we are trying to process this so that we can store it for the upcoming year, and so we don't have to buy anymore and we have full supply of turmeric going forward. And you would remember my earlier one of the earlier videos on how to plant and harvest and process the turmeric earlier. So I'm not going to go into details about the processing and the planting and the harvesting part in this episode. I'm specially going to only concentrate on the storage of turmeric and how you can do it in different ways and how I do it specifically. So here in Chennai in India, we have this turmeric harvest during the January time. So January and February months are the only 2 months when you can get fresh turmeric here, and the rest of the year we do get a lot of turmeric, dried turmeric, but not the fresh ones. So I decided that this time I am not only going to try making a powder version of the turmeric, but I also wanted to keep some in different forms. So that is what we are going to see in this episode. I hope you will see this till the end and get more ideas about how you can preserve and store your turmeric for the year. So this powder method is the best way to go forward to preserve them for a long period of time. So coming to the next way in which I am going to save some of this is, of course, I'm going to make a paste out of these fresh turmeric, and I will freeze it, make it into smaller cubes and then preserve them so that I can just take as much quantity I want and put it in my curries and use them as I want in my cooking. And apart from having just the powder, I think fresh turmeric and the turmeric paste has a much more potent flavor, and it really packs a punch. So I really want to experience that freshness for as long as I can. So I'm going to use some of these turmeric to make them into a paste and then use them in my everyday cooking for at least the first few months. I'll try that. And this one here, I'm just going to keep them in my fridge. I think the fresh turmeric stays good for about 2 weeks in the refrigerator, and in this case you're not supposed to peel the skin, because the minute you peel the skin it will start turning brown or black in color and the color doesn't stay good. So keeping it as it is without removing the skin in your refrigerator, use them as freshly as I can, because we do not get this throughout the year. We can only get it during these 2 months, January and February, and then that's it. So I'm going to try to keep it fresh and use it fresh as much as I can. And I got these from my 15 kgs. I got these particular kind of bulb like things from the turmeric. This is actually used for skin. They actually rub it and take this yellow color that it exudes, and women use it on their skin for skin care. So this is something that mostly I don't use it, so I'll be giving it to my farm workers, and I'll be giving some of them to my mom probably if she wants it. So that's what I'm going to do. Just wanted to show you that these are different. If you can see how they look bulbous. They don't look like these fingerlings, so they don't look like these. They look very different, and these are used on the skin. So that's what I want to just share with you. So these are some of the ways in which I am planning to go with my turmeric storage. I will also share with you how I'm going to make the paste and how I'm going to preserve it in my freezer. So here is the turmeric that I have ground into a paste. So it's nice and soft. Now I am going to spread this paste onto this tray, because this is the biggest tray I have. I'm going to just spread it evenly to this height, almost it's like probably half an inch, and I'm going to spread it out and put it in the freezer. And once it is frozen, I'm going to take it and cut them into cubes and put it in a airtight container. So that's what I'm planning to do, because there is another option you can do. You can use ice cube trays in which you can put it, but I feel that's the size is really big. The cubes, you don't need that big a cube of turmeric probably for a use. If I want a smaller quantity, I will not be able to get it. So I decided I'm going to spread it all on this tray, freeze it, and once it is like completely frozen and it's like a block, I'm going to chop it up and then put it in smaller, make it into smaller cubes and put it in a container so that I can use them. So here is the paste all done. This is my third batch, and as you can see how beautiful and vibrant it looks. So I'm going to spread this evenly like this and put it in the freezer. Then once it is completely frozen, I'm going to take it out and chop them up into cube sizes that I prefer for my use. So another thing to remember while making the paste is that do not add a lot of water. Add just enough water to make a thick paste. Like if you see, there's no water dripping or anything, right? So it's nice and thick, at the same time pliable. You can just push it in like this, and if you see, I have not really made it into a very fine paste, but it is coarse to touch, but that's okay. This is enough. And as you can see, the minute you start putting it, the color starts changing. That's very important, so you have to do it very quickly and not wait for a very long time. I just mixed up all of this in under 2 or 3 minutes, and now it's all ready. I'm going to pop it inside the freezer now, and then I'll pull it out and cut it up and store it in an airtight container. So there is this powdered turmeric which I got plenty of this. I have 2-3 loads of these actually in the process. I'm almost in the last batch now that I'm grinding it up. So that's ready, and that is going to go into my storage for the year. What I do is with the powder is that I keep just one quantity, a small quantity outside on my counter, so I can use them every day for my everyday cooking, and the rest of the batch I pack it into 2-3 different packages, airtight packages, and keep it in my freezer, because these are organic turmeric, and the powder can get pest infested over the period, because you can't keep it outside at room temperature for a longer period. And here in Chennai we have a lot of humidity and a lot of heat, so there is a lot of chance of the turmeric going getting some kind of a pest infestation. So we want to avoid that. So I do that. So I hope you do that too, because you need to keep your organic produce as much as possible that you're harvesting at your farm in the fridge or in your freezer, whichever it is, and if you want a longer shelf life. So that's what I do. And the second thing I showed you was my how I'm going to cube my fresh turmeric, grind them into a paste and cube them and keep them. And while I'm shaking my hands, I can show you how they're all yellow, and it's going to be this way for at least a week till it goes off, but I don't mind. And so this turmeric, this ground paste, is something that I'm trying for the first time this year. I want to use the fresh paste as much as possible, at least in the first few months till it is there in my freezer, so that then I can move to the powder version. So that's my idea, because the freshness of fresh turmeric ground into a paste is completely different than the powder version. So I'm going to try doing that. So I've made it into cubes, I showed you, and I put it in an airtight container, and I've kept it in my freezer. So that's going to be there, and I can just pick up one cube at a time, or if I want more, I can just pull out more and use it. And in the freezing technique, what I would like to suggest is that you should do this flash freezing method. I hope you're aware of it. If not, for people who are coming across this term for the first time, I would like to say that first thing is, when you layer anything, you layer the cubes in a single line, which is, don't clump it together, just place it in a single sheet, single line, and then layer it and put it in the freezer just for like an hour or so. And when you pull it out, each of those cubes will be individually frozen. Once it is individually frozen, it does not clump together, and then it's very easy for you to simply just pull out one cube from your freezer, and you don't have to deal with the big block of all the chunks sticking together. So to avoid that, do the flash freezing method, which is layering it in single layer without the cubes touching each other for just 1 hour. Once the individual cubes are frozen, then you can put it together, and then even if it touches and it is clumping, nothing will happen, no clumping would happen after that. So please do that. So that's what I have done. So that is my second way of preserving this time. So the third thing I'm doing is, this is nothing, I'm not doing anything about it. I'm just going to have my fresh turmeric. I've just picked the smaller ones because like single serving ones. I've kept only the small ones with me, and I want to just keep them. Probably I'll keep in this open space out on my counter for some time, and then if I see that they are shrinking a bit, I'll put it in the fridge. But in this case, you should not remove the skin. Don't peel the skin, and let it be, and only while you're about to use it you can peel the skin off, because once you peel the skin, you'll see that the turmeric starts changing color. It becomes brown and black, and so don't expose the turmeric to air. So what happens is, just keep the peels intact, and I'm just going to keep them on my counter and pull them out, because I'm making a lot of different variety of teas using it. I'm making tea with turmeric and ginger and cinnamon and pepper. So I'm trying a lot of recipes with this, because this is the only time I'm going to have these fresh turmeric, and I can only have them for hardly a week or 2 weeks outside. So I'm just going to keep that. So this third batch is just a small batch for me to keep it and outside and use it. Another way I have actually used my turmeric is to make them into pickles. So that is something that I have done this time. I've made 2 varieties of pickles. I've made a North Indian style with a lot of fennel and mustard and the other things, and I've also made a South Indian variety of turmeric pickle. So that's going to last me some time. So that is another way that I am using my pickles this time. The fresh pickles, fresh turmeric, I'm also going to be using it not only for my tea, everyday tea, but I'm also going to be using it probably to make a face mask probably sometime. Or even in my curries, there are a lot of Rajasthani curries in which they use fresh turmeric. So I'm going to make a sabzi out of this for my chapati and other dinner recipes. So that's also something that I'm going to be using with them. So I'll just show you my pickle. So here are my pickles. I'll just show you the 2 containers that I have. I have big jars. I have actually stored, taken out half of this jar and I've kept it in another container. But these 2 big jars of pickles are there for me to probably, I don't know, it may not last much, but I'm going to use it as much as I can. So here is my South Indian pickle. I hope you can see this, how gorgeous it looks, right? It's beautiful. I've added some mango to it, so it's not just turmeric. I've also added some shredded mango. I shred both the turmeric and my mangoes, and I made this pickle. It's a regular pickle. I don't have any special recipe. The way you make mango pickle is the way I've made it. I've used sesame oil for my South Indian pickle, and this is my North Indian style pickle, which may look very similar, but actually it looks quite different from here, but in this I think it looks very similar. But I put some green chilies as well in this, and the masala is completely different. I've added some fennel and zeera to this pickle, which is very tasty. I like to eat the North Indian style pickles with my parathas, so that's why I made two varieties of them. So this is looking absolutely gorgeous right now. Look at that. Right, so this is beautiful. It's looking really good, and I'm going to see how long it lasts. Probably not much, because it's absolutely tasty with curd rice or sambar, dal, anything. So these are the ways in which I am making use of my turmeric harvest this season, and I'm trying to add as many new ways of incorporating it in my lifestyle, because fresh turmeric, and I mean, I'm not even going to go into the benefits of turmeric, because I've already seen a million videos on people talking about the benefits of turmeric: antibacterial, anti-cancer, anti-septic, antibacterial, or I don't know, so many different ways of talking about turmeric and how medicinal it is and how it is loaded with antioxidants. Please, you can go and check it out. But I'm really excited and happy about having this huge harvest, because I'm able to freshly eat this turmeric, which I had never done in my life, I think. So this is only after I started growing my own turmeric that I have started doing all this. And incorporating fresh turmeric, not just the powder, is a huge revelation for me. So not the pickles, not just the pickles, but the curries, and you even using it on my skincare. Actually, I've been putting a lot of turmeric face mask as well. I don't know whether it's showing, but I'm really having fun with it. And I hope you got a lot of ideas of how to preserve your turmeric in different ways apart from the traditional powder version. So let me know in the comments how you are doing it, and so that I can get some ideas and I can include them in my kitchen, in my cooking, in my skincare, or any routine for that matter. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.